Joe the Plumber goes on CNN, and he is going to get asked some questions that apparently make him uncomfortable. Now, look, you have to understand, he just won a primary. He is now officially a congressional candidate in Ohio, and he'll be going up against Marcy Kaptur in a very liberal district, so probably will get his ass kicked. But here he is being interviewed, and let's watch.
What do you do for a living now?
Well, for the last 4 years, I've gone around building houses, taking trees down, plumbing, and speaking at different events around the country, encouraging Americans to really get informed on who they're going to vote for, stop voting on 30-second sound bites, and make sure their vote counts and really exercise their civic responsibility as an American.
And what do you think, or how do you think that qualifies you to run for Congress?
What qualifies me, one, I'm an American citizen. Two, I'm very much involved in the process of what's going on. I guess my question would be is what qualifies the current politicians who are killing our country, Republicans and Democrats alike? I'm sorry, it just seems like a silly question.
Yeah, no, it's not a silly question, but I don't disagree with his answer. Let's keep it real here. Because,
really?
Yeah, because, no, I mean, we can have regular citizens who are politicians, and they might do a lot better than the guys who are in office right now. So I don't mind that part. I was amused by his answer, though, of like, what were you doing? Oh, I was taking down trees for 4 years. And then he explained that, of course, he was going around the country speaking to conservative groups who paid him to be Joe the Plumber. His name is not even Joe. It's Samuel Wurzelbacher, right? And so he goes and gets paid like this money to be like, oh yeah, I'm Joe the Plumber. I take down trees. I do some plumbing. I'm for Republicans. I'm the average guy. Yeah. So, I mean, he's a joke, but...
Yeah, I thought his answer was terrible because he came off as a smug prick. He was...
Keeping it real.
He was offended at a great question. He's talking about cutting down trees. She's asking, okay, what qualifies you to run for Congress? And he starts laughing. Why are you laughing? Because you know that you're not qualified at all.
Now, don't get me wrong, Anna. I agree with you that his overall strategy is clearly attack the media. Like, it's like a tried and true nonsense Republican strategy. Now it gets more significant here as we watch.
Oh, well, no. I mean, you're running for Congress, so people would want to know what your qualifications are, your breadth of experience in order to lead.
Oh, breadth of experience is that, I've worked all my life. I mean, see these hands right here? There's calluses on them. I've worked the last 25 years to having to make results every day to feed my family, pay my bills. Politicians, they live off the backs of broke taxpayers. They constantly take advantage of us. They don't get anything done.
Okay, callus on the hands, obviously correct foreign policy.
That's like the number one qualification for Congress, don't you know?
Callus on the hands. Okay, now again, I don't think that disqualifies them at all. I wish we had more regular guys in Congress. Now, you still got to know the policies and stuff, but they haven't gotten that portion of the interview. But I would come up with a better answer in just saying, hey, look, I'm not a career politician, but I care deeply about the issues, and these are the issues that I care about. Instead of going, calloused hands, I win. Okay, but it's about to get even more fun.
You made comments about gay people. We're going to put them up here for everybody to see. Queer means strange and unusual. It's not like a slur, like you would call a white person a honky or something like that. You also said, I've had some friends that are actually homosexual. And I mean, they know where I stand, and they know that I wouldn't have them anywhere near my children. But at the same time, they're people, and they're going to do their thing. Have you changed your positions on this at all?
So this is TMZ, this isn't CNN, is what you're saying.
Of course it's CNN. These are things that I would like to know if you still stand by them or if you have changed your positions on them.
No, I want everybody to have a job. Americans, as far as that goes.
But what about these
Republican,
comments
Democrat,
that you made?
union, non-union.
What about these comments that you made? Do you stand by these comments?
Listen, in my dictionary, in everyone's dictionary from the 1970s, the word queer did mean strange and unusual. It was no slur to it. Do you challenge that?
No, I'm questioning whether or not you still stand by these positions
I'm trying to get where you're coming from. I'm trying to get where you're coming from. What context are you using this in?
The context that I'm using is I
you're
want
trying to do a gotcha moment. It's quite obvious.
No, it's not a gotcha moment. These are things that you said. And I think people who are voting for you should have an opportunity to understand whether or not you have changed your positions.
Okay, now, see, that's where he goes off the deep edge. He's going to attack the media. It's a gotcha question. Anytime a Republican has a question he can't answer, oh, it's a gotcha question. Maybe what they're doing is they're just admitting it, like, you got me. because I can't answer that question because it's a bad quote. Now, look, it's fair to say the great majority of my positions are on jobs, the economic situation. This is not the heart of my campaign. But nonetheless, if you're in politics and you made that quote, it's very fair of CNN to ask you, hey, do you really think that homosexuals shouldn't go anywhere near your children? Mm-hmm. That's the much more damaging part of the thing, and he doesn't want to answer that because he's embarrassed by his own quote. It's obvious.
If it's almost, look, common sense at this point when it comes to Joe the Plumber and how he's not going to answer questions, especially questions like that. If he's coming on the media just to attack the media, why invite him on? You know, like, look,
it's fun for everybody.
I know, it was entertaining. I had a good time, right? But look, he's not.
I had a good time. I watched CNN, got off a little bit. You know, it was fun for everybody.
You get the point.
Yeah.
But look, if you're going to get frustrated because he's not going to answer the questions, understand that he's a clown who's not going to answer the questions.
Finally, my two favorite parts of that quote were, I've got friends who are actually homosexual. Why? Do you have friends that are pretending to be homosexual but not actually ones? Like, okay, and then, you know, it's not a real slur like honky. Can we all agree that honky is like the most comical slur of all time?
And the most tame slur.
Yeah, like
I didn't even know it was
love
a
when
slur.
white people pretend to be offended by that. They're like, oh, I could be offended too. I could be offended too. Because there's a long history of minorities keeping white people down in this country by calling them honky.
Honkies, yeah.
And when they do that, they're like, whoa, he called him a honky. Mm-hmm. Whoa.